Hey there, Middle-earth Strategy Battle Gamers. So today I'm here with a video I'm going to do, and I'm going to be discussing a few reasons why I currently don't think that the Rings of Power is going to be implemented into Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game. So the first one being is that they have their license with New Line Cinema, I believe, or Warner Brothers, and I have a feeling that that's what they're going to be producing, is stuff that is coming out of Warner Brothers. For instance, the Ride of the Rohirrim movie that is set to come out, I think, next year, would probably get a supplement or some models or something. That would be that would become my first point. My second point is that aesthetically, the Rings of Power and um, the 6 Peter Jackson movies, so the 3 Hobbit movies and the 3 Lord of the Ring movies, aesthetically are completely different. So for instance, Galadriel is different actress, completely different. Elrond, different actor, completely different. Gil-galad, the actors, are completely different. So in the past, and they changed this, so in the past they've had multiple profiles for characters. So when the Hobbit supplements came out, you had like a couple profiles for Saruman. You had a couple profiles for Legolas. You had a couple profiles for Thranduil. And when the armies of the Lord of the Rings came out and the armies of the Hobbit came out, they merged pretty much all the profiles to one. And I don't think that they would have done all that work in making new profiles, or sorry, unified profiles would be a better way to put it, for these characters, and then to come out with quote-unquote younger characters or different profiles. Like there being an exception, like of course, young Dwalin, I think is the only character I think that still has a young profile. Another one is, another reason I should say is I think that they are kind of looking to see what the reception is for the show. And the first season came out, it's a mixed bag. And I think that they probably would be worried about, if we make a Rings of Power line for Middle Earth, would it sell? Because at the end of the day, their main goal is to sell models to us fans. And I have no doubt there'd be plenty of people who would support Rings of Power models, but would it be enough to sustain a supplement and all the work that would be required? Another point I'd like to point out is faction-wise, how would that work? So, in the first season, you have Numenor, you have Adar of the Orcs, you have Arondir and the Southrons, the Southlands, I think is what they're called, Southlands, something like that. The Harfoots and a couple of other, the Dwarves. And these factions already line up with factions that we have, for the most part, except for the Southlings. So I just don't think that they would make 2 separate armies. It just doesn't make sense in my mind to have 2 separate armies that would be Numenor. So you have Numenor from the Peter Jackson films, and I do think we're going to be getting a Last Alliance supplement. And then having a separate Numenor army for the Rings of Power. You could. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Or at the very least, it would be a alternate game, which is where I could see them doing that. So, kind of like how there's Warhammer 40k and then you have the Horus Heresy. You could have a Horus Heresy kind of game for Middle Earth, but it'd be the Rings of Power. I could see that being a viable option if they went that way. And then what would they make factions? So like Numenor would be a faction, then you'd have Adar of the Orcs and Sauron. So I do think that a lot of it is going to be a waiting game. So season 2 is like coming out in 2 years from now, I believe. And once that comes out, I just think if we're gonna get Rings of Power stuff for Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game, we're gonna have to see how the reception goes and how big in the scale and the scope that the um, show gets. Because also here's another point: is they just released the Osgiliath starter set for the new edition for Middle Earth, and I just don't see them going to that amount of trouble with a new starter set, the new plastic heroes that came in it, the new terrain, just to have a Rings of Power starter set coming out, unless it is an alternative game. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to put a little video together. That's just my opinion. I don't have any insider knowledge or information. I just am kind of going off how I feel, and I personally don't feel like we will be seeing at least for the time being, we'll be seeing anything implemented from Rings of Power into Middle Earth. That could change with many variables, but yeah, so here's just a quick video. If you guys want to see some more Middle Earth content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. It does mean a great deal to us. So enjoy your Middle Earth hobby, and we'll see you guys in the next video.